equations transformable to quadratic equation. So when we say equation transformable to quadratic equation, ito yung given natin na equation is not in a quadratic equation, but we are going to transform it into quadratic equation. So let's proceed. So there are equations that are transformable to quadratic equation. So these are equations may be given in different forms. Hence, the procedure in transforming this equation to quadratic equation may also be different. So not totally different, but there's additional procedure or steps in solving the quadratic equation. So nadagdagan lang siya ng procedure or ng step. So eto nga yung pagta-transform natin into a quadratic equation. So to further understand, let's have an example. So for our example, we are going to transform this equation into a quadratic equation. Since this equation is not in a quadratic form, we are going to transform it into quadratic equation. So how are we going to transform it into quadratic equation? So it is simply to simplify. So we are going to simplify this equation. So it becomes you are going to use the distributive, or you are going to distribute x to the binomial that we have. So x times x, it becomes x squared. Then x times positive 3, it is equal to positive 3x. And then equal siya sa 28. So now we have the quadratic equation. So we can easily identify this one as a quadratic equation. But next step is to solve the roots or the solution in our quadratic equation. So to solve the roots or the solution of our quadratic equation, of course, we need to transform this equation into standard form. So to transform this into standard form, we will transpose positive 28 to the other side. Therefore, it becomes x squared plus 3x minus 28 is equal to 0. Now we have this standard form. So, ito na yung standard form natin. So, after getting the standard form, we will solve the solution or the roots of this quadratic equation using the quadratic formula. So, if you remember the quadratic formula, it is x is equal to negative b positive negative square root of b squared minus 4ac. And then over 2a. So, if you can see in our quadratic formula, we have the real numbers. So, therefore, we need to identify first the real numbers a, b, and c in our quadratic equation. So, the real number a is 1, yung b natin is positive 3, and yung c natin is negative 28. So, dito po yan nakuha. Ayan po. And then after natin ma-identify yung ating real numbers a, b, and c, we are going to substitute it to our formula, the quadratic formula. So pag sinubstitute natin, it becomes x is equal to, don't forget or don't be confused that the sign of our formula is different from the sign of the values of our real number. So therefore, it is negative times yung value ng b natin is 3. And then positive negative square root of what is b? It is 3, then squared minus 4 times natin sa 1 which is a, and then yung c natin is negative 28. And then next naman natin is yung denominator na 2 times 1. And then we are going to simplify it. So it becomes x is equal to negative times positive 3, it is equal to negative 3, then plus minus square root of, so 3 squared is equal to positive 9, and then negative 4 times positive 1, it is equal to negative 4, and then negative 4 times negative 28, it is equal to positive 112 over 2, dahil 2 times 1 is equal to 2. Then after that, we are going to simplify the values inside the radical. So how are we going to simplify it? So x is equal to negative 3 plus minus square root of, So 9 plus 112 is equal to 121 over 2. Now, we need to get the radical or the square root of 121. So x is equal to negative 3 plus minus. So yung square root of 121 is 11 and then over 2. Then next naman natin is to separate it to get the value of x. So first one is x is equal to negative 3 plus 11 is over to 2. And then yung isa naman natin ay x is equal to negative 3 minus 11 over 2. Now, let's simplify this. Negative 3 plus 11, it is equal to positive 8 over 2. Then x is equal to positive 4. The other one is negative 3. Ayan. Yung negative 3 natin, negative 3 minus 11, it is equal to negative 14. So, negative 14 natin. And then over 2. And then, the value of x is equal to negative 7. So, now we have the values of x, which is positive 4 and negative 7. How are we going to check this? So, we are going to substitute the value of x to our original equation or to our quadratic equation. Pero pwede na din natin dito i-substitute yung ating value ng x. So, let's try to substitute it to our original equation. So, let's try first if x is equal to positive 4 and the equation that we have is x times x plus 3 is equal to 28. Ayan. So, substitute the value of x, which is 4. 4 times the quantity of 4 plus 3 is equal to 28. And then, solve the value inside the parentheses. So, 4 plus 3 is equal to 7. And then, equal siya sa 28. And then, 4 times 7 is 28 is equal to 28. So, therefore, it is correct. Next is to check the value of x if x is equal to negative 7. So, x times the quantity of x plus 3 is equal to 28. So, let's substitute the value of x, which is negative 7 times the quantity of negative 7 plus 3 is equal to 28. So, negative 7 times, so negative 7 plus 3, it is equal to negative 4. Then, equal siya sa 28. So, negative 7 times negative 4, it becomes positive 28 is equal to 28. So, it is correct. So, this is how are we going to transform equation to a quadratic equation. And this is how are we going to find the roots or the solution of a quadratic equation.